So WTF is happening around the world, where you are, where I am, where other people are. What's going on, Maria? What are we hearing around the world?
So one thing, and this is what's interesting about U.S. versus non-U.S. news that we were talking about. I victimized our podcast. I'm just looking at U.S. sources instead of like maybe adding into our outline like what people are talking about here involving the U.S. One of the biggest news that is happening here in the country of Argentina and across the Latin American continent is, oh my God, reports that the US administration is actually doing intervention all across Latin America, and specifically is paying various actors across, not actors like theater
Political
actors, political actors, yeah, people that own
bad guys.
Yeah, political operatives and things like that, to proactively disseminate disinformation across Latin America and pro-Trump information across Latin America. And one of the people that's helping foot
So
the
they're
bill for that,
Russia-ing the whole thing.
Exactly. So like the thing that many people accuse other countries of doing, manipulating information, we're doing all across Latin America.
Why wouldn't we? Of course.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy is that a lot of this is being run through not some like, not like what other US administrations have done on both sides, which is to let someone know and then that someone through their firm or whatever is going to run it. Oh no, we're actively publicly going to start doing it through the US embassies. And I'll drop some notes. I'll drop some notes and some stories of, and you can see there was a press conference that Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum had where a reporter actually read an Instagram DM that they got from an embassy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
great.
So that's something that is happening across Latin America, and it's being paid for by the governments, the right-wing governments of the American continent, including this one, Argentina. And so the debate here is, wait, our money is being like we're broke as a country, basically, and we're going to get broker because we're going to pay to help Trump look good across the continent.
That feels right.
Yeah. So that's what is being talked about here, but not necessarily in the US, but involves the US big time.
Yeah, but the United States has never done anything like that, Maria. We've never been involved in disinformation or misinformation or meddling in the Latin American politics or Latin America generally or anywhere else in the world. We are exceptional.
We are exceptional. And, for people that are like, no, but we really are exceptional. In the country that I'm in, we bankrolled a dictatorship that killed people.
Yes, we did.
Lots of people, thousands of people.
That's a tale as old as time, Maria. How many times did the CIA go in and overthrow different people all across Latin America? Again, tale as old as time. Do this shit all the time. Cuba's just on, we're just repeating history with Cuba here.
We're repeating
the recycling trash.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to the next thing, currently on United States news, breaking news currently, since we just talked about this, I figured I'd just Google what's going on in the world on CNN just to see. So currently on the front page of CNN, it says, U.S. targets Iranian missile launch sites and boats as negotiations continue. U.S. claims self-defense. But everything was good. Trump said we had a deal. What happened?
And also self-defense.
The United States. Poor defenseless United States. It was self-defense, Maria.
And people wonder why
nobody believes Donald Trump and he's so full of shit.
Yeah. And why the rest of the world goes, you know what? China doesn't look too terrible. Even Putin doesn't look this terrible. And he's awful.
Listen, at least the Chinese folks and Putin, at least they have like brains, right? At least their bullshit at least is like somewhat believable. Our bullshit is just ridiculous. It's like nonsense.
Like, don't say it's self-defense. Just keep saying it's for Israel.
Well,
That's fine. We'll
right.
believe
Like,
it.
just get it right. Apparently today, Benjamin Netanyahu claimed he has no control over Putin, or not Putin, he has no control over Donald Trump. I was like, oh, okay, sure. Sure you don't.
Yeah. And the sky is
Green.
green.
Yeah.
The sky's green, Benjamin. Boy.
Anyways, okay. So, Trump administration shutting key U.S. researchers out of global virus response talks, documents, and sources reveal. We had no shit. We don't believe in science here. What the fuck are we going to do around the world?
Nope.
I don't give a fuck.
No.
These are the same people who told. This is the same president who told people to put lights up their ass and drink bleach. No. Of course they don't believe in science. They don't even believe in COVID shots. They don't even believe in the flu shot.
Nope, they don't believe in Tylenol.
Oh, I forgot. Autism. I forgot.
Yeah.
Silly me.
But as a person who, even though the focal point and the, what is it called, like the point ground zero of hantavirus here in Argentina is way further south, I still feel kind of left out because my country, I'm an American citizen, isn't looking out for me. Like, we need to, what do Americans do to get real trusted health information?
Take it upon ourselves. Read outside sources. It goes back to what we were saying earlier. Google some of the other stuff that other countries are doing and maybe trust that.
Yeah.
Go to see what the World Health Organization says.
Yeah, just try and see if they can send direct text messages to you, because that's all we got. But what really extra sucks about that is we were talking about helping Africa, but here we are going to go to Cuba. But like, there's
of course we can bomb people. We just can't like save their lives. We just can't treat them like human beings.
Yeah.
Come on.
Ebola is because of the dosing and everything. I assume there has to be a link. The outbreak of
I watched a report the other day. The link between the normal response time and what we would have done versus what we're doing now, and because of Doge and all the cuts, it's completely obliterated the ability to respond to it. On top of the fact that this Ebola strain is more contagious, it's spreading more rapidly. So it's like the perfect storm of suck for these people. And you just look at the US like, so you want to police the world, but you don't want to help the world. Got it. Understood. Cool.
Yeah. Awful. Thanks, everyone.
Well, and it's going to be really awful because, again, if you look at the trajectory, the lines of what other Ebola outbreaks have looked like, this guy was explaining, typically they kind of go they don't like spike. They're pretty mild, and they kind of drop off because there's a response to it. This one is shot straight up. So the outbreak, likely, he said, is even worse than they think because they don't even have the right tests to be testing it because it's a different strain. And they didn't know that at the beginning because they don't have the resources to know that. So they are like 10 steps behind because of all the cuts the United States made to foreign aid. And that's fine because you know what's going to happen? One of these things, God forbid, but it's going to happen. One of these things is going to get out of control again. And then it's going to come to the United States. And all of us here in the United States are going to wish we would have continued investing in proper health care and proper help for these countries, because that's the whole point. It's to help those people, but also mitigate the spread so that infectious diseases don't come here when people travel.
Exactly.
It's common sense, but we know that's not that common.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, and we're just out here saying YOLO.
We're sitting ducks. We're 100% sitting ducks.
Yeah.
And we have a government who's not tracking shit because they don't believe in science. You have RFK who's out here with his brain worms telling us to not take Tylenol and to not believe in science and to go eat more meat
And all
and
of y'all
take away our SS.
and all of y'all that talk about the US, the enemies of the United States and all of these things, which is real, like
Sure, okay.
enemies are a thing. However, we know that like viruses and and I don't mean like conspiracy theories, like where did COVID come from? But it is definitely a possibility that if you're a sitting duck, like you said, why not send someone with a virus to your country and just start spreading it?
Here's the other thing. Climate change is rapidly making this stuff happen more often. Because
Mm-hmm.
with climate change and with temperature changes, temperature fluctuations, not just hot but also cold, changes in your environment, disease will spread more rapidly, or they will morph into different strains or different, how many different strains of COVID have we seen at this point? That's how disease works. It mutates.
Mm-hmm.
And climate change is only going to amplify. So
It,
again, doesn't even take it doesn't even take somebody doing it in a hostile way. Somebody could just go to a dump to do some bird watching, get on a cruise ship, and spread it like wildfire. That's all it takes.
yeah,
All it takes.
yeah, that's it. That's it. And for anyone who asks, I'm not going to be hitting up any dumps here in Argentina
That
anytime
was
soon.
my first question to Maria. Will you be going to a dump?
No. I wouldn't even go to the one in Vegas.
Listen, I don't like going to the one in Vegas when you have to dump, like trees or whatever, big stuff. I don't even like going there.
It's almost like that's why like people who work in the
Sanitation services.
sanitation services wear like very thick clothing, thick gloves, thick boots, because it's like
Science. Weird.
weird.
So speaking of people not wanting to come here, since we're coming kind of full circle from our comment in the opening, which she was 100% right, the person who made the comment about Canadians not wanting to come here. There's days I don't want to come here. Hang on, speaking of dumps, this is funny. So the other night, Nick and I were getting ready for bed. He's like, oh my gosh, Ireland's Ireland's offering like free tickets to go. Would you take it? I was like, it was like to go anywhere in Ireland. I was like, I would go to a dumpster in Ireland at this point. I would go to the dump in Ireland.
And fully prepared. I will wear my mask. I will bring everything.
Yeah. Suit up, but at least I'm not here.
Yeah.
Nick was like, oh, okay. Send me away. Okay. All right. Anyways, tourism in the U.S. dropped. What? The impact of how the world perceives America right now. Oh my God. What an embarrassment. Oh my God. So, Maria, because I'm limited on CNN because, paywalls. Can you read this article, please? Can you summarize this article, please?
Yeah.
Apparently I'm over on the CNNs too much.
And it's a good thing I'm in Argentina because apparently they don't care if people in Argentina read it for free. So thanks, CNN, for letting me read it for free.
So they only don't want us to have information? The people who need the information the most, they don't want Americans to have it? But Argentina gets it for free? The Americans are the ones who need the real information.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Wow, this is awful. Also, the little picture, we'll put it right here, but Las Vegas is included. There's some hallmarks of U.S. tourism, and they're in that cute little picture that we'll put here. So hilarious that Vegas is in there. So it starts with, there's no sugarcoating it. Just diving right in. There's no sugarcoating this Tylenol. The complete 2025 data is in, and the message is clear. International visitors stayed away from the U.S. in the first real year-over-year decline since the COVID-19 pandemic. And y'all ready for this headline? The drop in visitors was larger than during the global recession of 2008. Larger. So worse than COVID, worse than the global recession of 2008. This time it wasn't a pandemic or a collapse of the market, it was human error. People just don't want to come here, basically. So travelers cite presidential rhetoric and policies manifesting in highly public wars, both figurative and literal, as some of the reasons for staying away. 4 million fewer foreign visitors came to the US in 2025, with total spending decreasing by more than 8 billion. Now, many people are like, I don't care, I'm in a tourist city, or I don't care, I don't work in the tourism industry or service industry.
It
Well,
impacts all of us.
CNN read y'all's mind and said that's not just bad for those working in the service and tourism industries. The impact of a self-inflicted decrease, I love that line, self-inflicted, we did it to ourselves, in international visitors of this magnitude has implication on America's standing in the world, its soft power diplomacy, and the economy as a whole. And scrolling down, something else to highlight. We used to be a country that others wanted to emulate. That narrative no longer exists, said Juliette Kayyem, faculty chair of the Homeland Security Project at the Harvard Kennedy School and CNN senior national security analyst. Kayyem explained that soft power, where America's strength is reflected in more than its military powers, is weakening, with a filtered story told to those outside the country. If you're a foreigner now, what you're absorbing about the United States is a dysfunctional government, ICE raids, Americans being killed, and crime everywhere. I love that last line. Crime everywhere. Like, that's how people see the US now.
So, let's take it one step further, because I saw an interesting article over the weekend. There's some reporting that's been going on over the past couple of weeks. Obviously, you and my husband are very into this, but apparently FIFA is in deep shit because of exactly what this article is saying on CNN. So I pulled up the Forbes article, and it's saying that tickets to the FIFA games, specifically in the United States, right? Canada, United States, Mexico, all three, North America, because all three are in North America, are hosting the FIFA World Cup games. Those games historically have been very well attended. People from all over the world travel. Football fans, which is what it's properly called. Football fans travel from all over to see this. It was supposed to be a huge boon for the U.S. economy. People were going to be coming here. There's multiple different cities around the country that are involved. This Forbes article says, in conjunction with what our CNN article just said, World Cup resale tickets prices fall weeks before tournament starts. For much of FIFA's 2026 World Cup ticket price rollout, there was skepticism that market demand truly merited unprecedentedly high ticket prices. Fan purchasing patterns now seem to confirm that. The price of the average... So this is also to the person's point before as well, at the beginning of the episode. It's not just that the people don't want to come here. It's that the prices of everything have been jacked up through the roof, especially in tourist locations, not just in Las Vegas, but around the country. Hotels, venues, sporting events, they're jacking their prices up so that only a few can afford it. In addition to people not wanting to come here, people not feeling safe here, and people not being able to afford it. It's like the perfect storm.
Right.
So the price of the average resale ticket has fallen 23% in the last 30 days, according to the website Ticket Data. This is for games staged in the United States only, not co-host nations, Canada and Mexico. So again, this is specific to the United States. This is a United States problem. That doesn't mean tickets are becoming cheap exactly. The average get-in price as of Tuesday morning came in at $558. And the market has more or less flattened out over the last week. Even so, with 3 weeks until the tournament kicks off and 2 full months until the final, it is the clearest sign yet that FIFA's pricing approach might not be fundamentally sound, as FIFA president, whatever Italian name, has suggested. So, this is published May 19th, so it was published last week. I have seen more recent reports than what's in Forbes, that it's actually getting worse in the United States. Nick has been looking to go to games. The ones in California are still super expensive, but like Texas, New Jersey, they're like falling rapidly. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And they're like big games.
Yeah, especially because those are, especially Texas, where huge Latino population, And that's also where people are like, those games are going to be great, but like, I would be frightened, and I'm a citizen, but I would be frightened to go to Texas.
100%. 100%. Even though this administration has been like, oh, we're not going to show up. But JD Vance at the very beginning was like, no, you better come and leave. Like,
exactly.
That's not a welcoming statement to like say to people who, like, do you want people to travel to the United States or not, you nimrods?
Yeah, especially like, it's a month long. You don't want people to like come and hang out for the month. And oh, and by the way, you know who didn't come and leave? Melania Trump. She overstayed her visa. So, like, spare me.
Hey. Anyways, it's just a lot. There's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because on CNN, speaking of like being fearful and all that, they're talking about Mark Wayne Mullen's first 2 months at DHS, deportations, threats against sanctuary cities, and a lower profile. So this stuff is still simmering. The deportations are still happening.
Mm-hmm.
Threats against cities are still happening. He's just keeping it hush hush now so that this administration isn't getting the blowback they were getting. Something
Exactly.
will happen though, and he will get the blowback because this shit
Oh, yeah.
is still very much happening. And anybody who wants to pretend it's not, it absolutely is. And immigrants still are very much living in fear.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's, there's going to be someone that dies in someone's hands, a lawsuit that gets brought up, something, and it will have been done during this Mark Wayne Mullen tenure. Because it's all to please Donald.
And just to get it in, we know how Donald likes to act when he doesn't get his way.
Throws ketchup all over the wall. And throws
And
rocks at
rocks
babies.
at babies.
Throws rocks at babies. And that comes for the people that didn't see the originating episode of
It's
that.
all the way back because it's been a long time, and we bring
all
it up.
The way back.
We try to bring it in and weave it into every episode for Steve Sebelius.
That is in the biography, in pretty much many of the biographies, but the most recent one that was done by Maggie Haberman, the reporter, who actually got access to Trump. And many people hate her for it because they're like, you got access to him and you got all this information and never fully put it out there. But it's corroborated by much of his family, especially Mary L. Trump, who this week also said, don't feel sorry for Donnie Jr. for his dad not going to the wedding because he's a Nazi and an asshole too. So a family member, who reminds us Donnie's a piece of shit too. But yeah, rocks at babies.
Listen, those apples didn't fall far from that asshole of a tree.
No. Donnie probably also threw rocks at babies.
God. Anyways. All right, let's move into hot takes and headaches. Hot take of the week. The reporter at the White House who made the face. The two people of color reporters ducked and covered when they heard the gunshots. Literally. They were like, let me get the fuck under something. Immediately. Good instincts kicked in. The white lady, she's like making faces, like, what is that? Those memes of her. And she's been such a good sport about it also. Yeah. And thank God everybody was okay, especially the press pool that had to deal with it. But the memes that have been made about her faces and her being such a good sport about it, chef's kiss.
I love that she mentioned, thank you, internet, for the memes. I hope you stick around for the reporting.
Yeah, I actually, when she said that, when she tweeted that, I was like, let me give you a follow because you're great and you have a sense of humor. So
yeah,
I appreciated that.
That's amazing. Yeah, but my hot take is, I really don't want to go back to the U.S.
I get it.
But no, it was, I actually, this hot take I provided to your husband and fellow pen nerd, Steve Sebelius, but Bic pens are better.
I hear you guys have a text chain now about pens. And for those of you, literal writing pens. They're nerding out about writing pens.
Yeah.
Go ahead. He's very excited to be on a chain with the two of you about pens. I hear all about it on the trip to Lowe's this weekend.
Listen, I had a stationary dilemma, and I was like, nobody will understand this. I was like, my mother won't, you won't, nobody else will. Only two people in the world will understand this stationary dilemma. And it created a monster, and we're just constantly talking. And one of the hot takes that I had for this was that Bic pens are better here than in the US. And Steve mentioned how apparently the crystal, like, it's different. It's actually made differently here. And yeah, and that was the hotel bic that I used to sign my reservation on. And the grip was great. Everything was great. The cafes are better. The food is better.
Two of our
Life is
really good
better.
friends are in Germany right now, floating down the Rhine River on a river cruise. And they keep sending me pictures every day of like the castles and the German beer and the pretzels and, all the wonderful things that you can get in Germany that you just don't get here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Life is
I'm in the
good.
middle of a fucking primary election questioning my life choices. So here we are, and questioning my life choices while nobody votes. Great job,
Exactly.
everyone. Great job.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that's also one of the reasons why, even though they have a shitty president, I love being in Argentina, because there is a great amount of like civic participation here, and just people, like, you hear conversations and people are talking about real things and real situations. And that a lot of the news shows are like, actually, the news shows, it's not like talking heads, it's like people actually like debating, really debating. And yeah, I don't. Also, coffee shops are open super late here, and then
It
add
is
in alcohol at night.
it is interesting seeing the phenomenon, right, of countries around the world who have gone through bad things, dictators, horrible governments, abuse of all different kinds, things like that. And how those people, we've talked about this in other episodes. Those people rise up, there's revolutions, they overthrow things, they get angry, they get involved, they go out and vote, they do what they can because they know their rights are fragile. Meanwhile, here, we just get disillusioned and just don't show up and vote at all.
Mm-mm.
And this is
Nope.
like literally those numbers we showed earlier, living proof of that. And
Mm-hmm.
it is not the way we should be responding.
Yep. Nope. And and many people will say, well, elections, we're going to vote. We don't know if we will even have them. Oh, what about all the no King's Days? They need to happen more often. And in places of power. So one of the and we can this will be my last hot take. In this country, I got chills driving from the airport here. We drove down the National Congress, because Buenos Aires is the capital, and in front of it is the Plaza de Mayo. And today is a holiday. Today is basically their Independence Day. And they have Plaza de Mayo, which is huge. And if you know about the resistance against the US bankrolled dictatorship here, you've heard about Plaza de Mayo. Every day, even to this day, every day on Thursday, I'm hoping to go. This time I haven't been able to go when I've been here. There are mothers and grandmothers that protest every single day with the white scarves to to hopefully get information for sons, grandsons, or other members of their family that they have lost or have never found. Which, by the way, we did. We helped do that. We sold the helicopters to the Videla regime. We trained all the generals and everybody to
We
throw
being the
people off
US.
planes.
Not you, Maria. The US
No,
did
not
that.
me. No, 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 no. And it still happens every single day. And there's a lot more tactics that were done and many other things that were done to resist. But it is like those women said, I'm going to go every week, every single week. And they still go. And they walk around the plaza every single week with the pictures of their disappeared family members, asking to know where they were last seen and what could have happened to them.
So the moral of that story is the United States and people across Nevada do better.
Do better. Yeah,
Do
do
better.
better. Do better.
Be
It's
better.
and you know what? I hate to tell y'all, social media doesn't count.
And stop fucking whining because I don't want to hear it. If you don't show up and vote, I don't want to hear it.
Yep. Yep. Social media is like yard signs. It doesn't vote. Not really.
Yep.
Yep.
So shout out to all the Argentinian women who are showing up all the time and doing the work, and we can learn a lesson or two from them. All right, well, that's the final bell. We're calling this one a recess. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends, share it with your family. Go tell some people in your neighborhood, the people you love, your family, your friends, your mother, your father, whoever will listen to you, to go vote.
Mm-hmm.
That's our message. If you take nothing from this week, If you can't even like and subscribe, at least go tell somebody across Nevada to vote in our primary, which is
Yep.
June 9th.
Exactly.
That's my
Go vote.
message. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week. Have a great week,
Bye.
everyone.